Hello and welcome back to Edu Protocols Are as Good as Gold. And today we're going to be talking about Lit Circle Plus. And so with our session today, there is a Wakelet of all of these amazing resources that you can go and view all of the Edu protocols that we've done in past sessions, along with this upcoming session where I will add the link about 15 minutes after the live broadcast. Okay, so with Lit Circle Plus, this was created by John Carippo, and then Kim Vogie created this awesome slide deck. We love Kim Vogie. And so it kind of focuses on the 7 demands of comprehension, which is visualization, monitoring, inferring, identifying, generating, synthesizing, and summarizing. So it's focusing on all of these amazing areas of comprehension that can be a really big struggle for some students. And then with this, students are going to work also like on vocabulary, empowerment. Like there's just so many different skills these students are going to develop through the Lit Circle Plus. Students will have jobs. You also want to make sure that they do have jobs because it will keep them on task and focused and give them some responsibility for what they're supposed to do. Give students academic and skill-based work. So making sure that they are working and don't focus on like that artsy type design for their slides and their work. So make sure that it is aligned with academic and skill before the artsy stuff. And then just remember to refresh this about every 4 to 6 weeks, and don't keep the same form all year. So you want to refresh the form that you're kind of using for this Edu protocol. Also have the students discuss where they are so far, and don't make the kids read the entire book before beginning any work. So make sure that they're doing the lit circle throughout the book and not reading the entire book first. Okay, so those are kind of the do's and don'ts when it comes to lit circles. And then think about your students kind of in their home, like, is their child reading, that kind of stuff, and how can parents have these conversations with their students as well. Okay, so again, students will not read the entire book first. Make sure that they do not do that. And then we're going to practice lit circles in class before letting them go home. And we're also going to do 5 to 10 minutes segments. So keeping it kind of short and quick. Also make sure it's fun and use that kind of pop culture items. And then use that why. Explain why they might have to do this. And then give your answers to help them. Okay, a couple ways that you could do this quickly to help build the protocol is using pictures, storybooks, or commercials on YouTube. So 2 really quick ways just to teach the process of the Lit Circles Plus, which can really help your students better understand the process and what is expected from them. So it's kind of setting them up for success. So students will have this like Google slide deck right here, and they're going to have this form kind of daily. So students will either watch or read the picture book as a whole class, and then students will work in groups of 4, and they will focus on one quadrant, so one of these boxes at a time. All of the students will provide detailed and written answers, and they will share together as a group and to the class. So right here, the students will summarize the picture book, the video, the chapter, whatever they're working on with the book, and they will just quickly summarize. Then they're going to categorize or characterize. So they're going to write the description, actions, dialogue, the monologues, the society, and then they're going to decide what kind of conflict is happening, and then what 3 wishes would their character make, and they have to tell why. And so this just kind of helps them with the summary. So somebody who is the main character wanted, what did the main character want or need? But when what gets in the way of the main character, what's the conflict? So what does the main character do about it? And then what was the revolution of the story? So again, they're summarizing in that blue box first. And again, they're doing it from where they are in the story. So if this is a chapter book, they're just doing chapter 1. If this is a picture book, they're doing that whole story that you covered. And then I love this graphic as well. It goes over somebody who, what did they want, but, so, then. And then I love having the story structure, the beginning, the middle, the end. And usually right here in the middle is when that conflict happens. So just kind of showing how all of this relates into one concept. And then we're talking about the conflict. So what is the conflict happening? Is it character versus character, where like Buzz, like Buzz and the Emperor, or is it character versus self, character versus nature, and talking about like what type of conflict is happening in this story, and really pushing those definitions and trying to get the students to realize what is happening, and then explaining what is happening during their lit circle, during the purple square. So here's a really good example showing like man versus nature, man versus society, man versus technology, just so students can kind of think about, okay, this has happened in the story. Let me go back and think about, okay, what does that look like? So just a really good image for your students to see. TV commercials are really good for this as well. And then they go into characterization. So right here we've got, how does the narrator describe the character? What are the actions, the thoughts, the speech, the reactions, other characters? How are they responding? What are they saying? And so then students will go through and they're going to really dive into the story and get to know the characters. And a lot of times students struggle with comprehension because they might not know the character very well. And it's because they don't know maybe the description, what color hair, what the smile is, the actions that they're taking, the dialogue, the monologue, and society sees them. So again, just kind of taking the students through those characters and like thinking about SpongeBob. He's a yellow sponge. He's always smiling. He has a tie on, and you're really getting to know that character at a deeper level to help with your comprehension to understand the story. And then the bonus is wishes. So this is where students come up with 3 wishes, and they have to be relevant to the story. And so they have to think, okay, what are 3 wishes right now in my book that the character would make? And they have to explain why. And again, students are working as a group to kind of figure out this activity, and they have to be creative about what kind of wishes a story or a person might use on that type of activity. And then right here are just 3 different commercials. If you need a quick commercial to help your students better understand this process, there are 3 right in this resource on slide 24. And then again, the students are working together on these little like Frere model type quadrants, I guess is what you could call it. And then they're going to share out to the whole group. You could also have every single student take their own quadrant and work on that quadrant in like a jigsaw project. Or again, you could have them all kind of working together on the same project. And then again, students will read that short passage. They'll do the lit circle in class. And then after they have some success, they can start doing this with books that they're reading independently. They can use any of the text that they're using at home. But again, you want them to be really successful at school so that they can hear your feedback and they know how to improve. And so here's kind of the schedule. Monday, they work 10 minutes and they're working on that character so far. Tuesday, they're working 10 minutes and maybe on the summary. Wednesday, 10 minutes, the conflict. Thursday, they get 40 minutes and they're working on share and compare of all categories. So independent kind of work. They're coming together to share, and then 20 minutes to talk as a whole class. So making sure that you go back to this template and having students really dig deep into the story. Thank you so much for joining us today on Gold EDU. Make sure you check out our website at goldedu.org and also subscribe and like to our YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.